Do you ever feel sorry for Damon Dash, man? Whenever you hear about like his financial problems and things like that.
Nah, Dame's a hustler. Dame will figure it out. Like Dame, very smart guy.
I feel so happy it's you. Point him out, couldn't miss him in that stupid ass suit. I'm sorry, I know it's elder abuse, but somebody needs a stinking, and I think that it's you. Who the fuck disrespects that OG? The motherfucker helped you, and he helped me, and I think it's looking plain to see. Mr. starting to look gay like Jason Lee, and your man very breasting too. Matter of fact, all y'all breasting, y'all the breasting crew. Breasting crew, breasting crew. Matter of fact, all y'all breasting crew.
We was looking for the huckleberry and we're glad it's you. Ew, what's that smell? Doo-doo, P-U, 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 P-U. Yeah, right. Cheap, cheap. I heard you made it just like cheap.
For the hustle, so happy it's you. Point him out, couldn't miss him in that stupid ass suit. I'm sorry, I know it's elder abuse, but somebody needs a stinking, and I think that it's you. Who the fuck disrespects that OG? The motherfucker helped you, and he helped me.
You know, so he'll figure it out.
He was definitely playing your album and on Instagram.
Yeah, did you see that video?
Sweet.
Nah, I didn't see it.
He was in the barbershop, bobbing his head crazy to it. He said he liked it. He said he felt like he was a part of that. And he knows you're telling the truth.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, you know, what people gotta understand. I mean, like I mean, nothing gonna change the way I feel about Damon. You know, no matter no time or space, no separation or anything. You know, I got love for Damon Dash the same way as I did before.
Thing about Jay that I still wonder about, being that he wants to be funny. Jay's breath always used to stink. And you know why? Because for some reason, don't you hate when niggas got bad breath and chew Big Red? It's just cinnamon doodle. Nobody wants to smell that. I hope this nigga is not still chewing Big Red with bad breath on that mic, because that mic must have been stinking.
Look at Cameron's face.
Whoa!
I'm gonna say his name. Your teeth are cheap. Your dentist played you. Your new name is Cheap Teeth. Not Cheap Keith or Chief Keith. It's Cheap Teeth. And those suits are funny that you're wearing. They're like old school Steve Harvey suits, now that you're a sportscaster. Hey, live from this, and I'm gonna talk about sweaty men all day? That's not no fresh shit. Fly niggas don't talk about sweaty men. He has undesigner, unauthentic, bootleg, cheap teeth, and he can't pull them out. He got the one of those in his mouth. Pause. Since I've got my teeth back, I can really clearly say. So for Cheap Teeth, aka Fredo, aka Cameron, you know, aka I want to talk about sweaty men every day for a living, and now aka Pause getting thrown around by wrestlers on some clown shit, to me, you know, that's just not what I have for him. He better get to work if he wants to go make Paid in Full and stop getting thrown around by wrestlers, and maybe keep my name out of his big mouth with those cheap teeth, with those what are those in his mouth. Because again, if you're gonna do something as intricate and personal as getting teeth, Pause, you should be patient. You should make sure it's the right dentist. Yeah, murder.
And you should make sure they're not too big for your face. I have a book.
I was talking though. You just cut me off.
I was talking. You just. I have a book. I want to make another announcement.
Make an announcement.
I have a book there with Simon Schuster.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I've already, you know, the title of the book, I secured the rights for TV and all that. You know what the name of the book is?
What's the name of it?
Power. And I'm going to be putting a TV show on my own television network, Revolt. That's Power, with no debt. And you're calling me broke because I have no debt. And you're telling me someone that gets $180 million loan is rich. You guys are dumb.
A billionaire is a
dumb.
billionaire. It doesn't matter.
No, how do you know he's a billionaire? How? Not him. Anybody. How could you listen?
You said
wait. Time out. Stop for a second.
For $180 million.
That you call a billionaire. I said
you said a billionaire.
Billionaires don't get loans. They have credit lines.
Do you know how confidently dumb you sound? That was the moment Dame Dash and Charlamagne's conversation went off the rails. What started as a debate over bankruptcy and business turned into one of the wildest money arguments hip-hop has seen. Dame came in standing firm on his game, while Charlamagne kept pressing him about debt, lawsuits, credit, and whether filing bankruptcy really means somebody failed. Neither one was trying to give an inch. Dame argued that wealthy people move by a different playbook, using family offices, business assets, copyrights, tax strategies, and credit lines instead of burning through cash. But Charlamagne wasn't buying all of it. He pushed back, questioning whether that approach is smart business or just a slick way of dodging responsibility. That's when the exchange stopped feeling like a business lesson and started getting personal. Now, Dripzine is about to let you hear the tension for yourself, so hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and let's get into it. The wildest part about this Dame Dash and Charlamagne clash is that underneath all the tension, both men were raising points the culture probably needs to hear more often.
This is, remember I told you this is how I get triggered. Just let me teach. If you don't know, listen to the teacher. I'm teaching you right now because this is a business you don't know. You've been in this room for 30 years straight.
15.
So you're missing a lot of life.
Not really.
Well, then stop speaking.
You're just wrong.
You have a problem, but you're just wrong. On a respect level, you're wrong.
But go ahead. You're right. Teach.
God.
I don't think you really got a lesson plan.
Teach. Every time you interrupt me, because you're so rich, you give me $20. Okay, can you do that? Because you know you got. So let me ask you another question. Do you think it's respectful when someone gives you their boundaries, you just break them and keep laughing? You think that's all right? I'm just asking.
Can I speak? I don't want to.
I just need an answer. This is the only time you don't speak is when I ask you questions. Anyway, you guys shouldn't speak so confidently without doing research. This is what you're saying. I don't know, and you're asking me. These are things you said. So I'm telling you right now, the reason why I filed was because I didn't want anybody to keep suing me, because he also kept suing me. Mm-hmm. So now I can't get sued. And if you look at, did you read the bankruptcy?
Yeah, I read it.
Did you read at the end when it says who I'm gonna sue? 'Cause it says who you're gonna sue, and it has a list of people. Mm-hmm. Did you read that?
She broke it down.
Right. So they can't sue me, but I can sue them now.
Mm-hmm.
But what?
My question
You
now.
cut them off.
I'd had to because
No,
if not, we're going to
she
move on
didn't
to
do
another
anything.
subject.
She was fine.
You
guys
so
are
listen,
disrespectful.
While we're here on the bankruptcy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from what I learned in my research.
So now that I've said I'm on a pathway to acquisition for chairman, y'all still think I'm broke? I don't get it.
Yeah, you can still get a job.
And I just said I had. Okay, here's something else. So I have a deal with Simon Schuster. I'm sorry.
Okay, so on the bankruptcy, what happens if all of the debt isn't discharged? What do you do then? Because
it's a Chapter 7.
But so for instance, Weber, the attorney, he filed something this morning saying that what you claim is fraudulent.
Right.
Right. And
You know why that is?
But wait, let me finish talking. And he's asking, and he's bringing the point that everything might not be discharged. So I'm at, like, what happens in that circumstance?
It doesn't happen. He's a stupid, allegedly. He's not the smartest light in the room. You got to think. They've been suing me all over the country. This one person, different people all over the country for 10 years.
A lot of artists learn how to make records before they ever understand contracts. They learn how to chase viral moments before they understand taxes. That's why arguments like this still matter. Even when things get heated, at least the conversation puts ownership, debt, bankruptcy, assets, lawsuits, publishing rights, and financial literacy right in front of everybody. Because business is never one size fits all. Some people use leverage, some stay far away from debt, and others build their whole strategy around credit to build wealth. Some people build through ownership, but the biggest thing is knowing what is happening with your money, because moving blind can get expensive fast. Wealthy people and major companies often use debt because, when handled properly, it can create leverage, keep cash available, and sometimes bring tax advantages. That does not mean everybody should copy every money play they see online. It means people should understand the risks, structure, and numbers before acting like there is only one smart way to do business. So here is the real question. Was Dame Dash dropping game about wealth and business, or was Charlamagne right to press him? After hearing both sides, who made the stronger case about money, debt, ownership, and what success really looks like. But there's another layer to this that makes the Dame Dash situation even more interesting. This isn't just about whether somebody has money sitting in a bank account. Dame has spent years arguing that real power comes from controlling what you build, not just collecting a paycheck from somebody else. That's where his mindset clashes with how most people judge success. The public sees lawsuits, debt, or bankruptcy and immediately thinks somebody fell off.
They sued me for over $500 million combined, and they only won $800,000 combined. They've been chasing that for 10 years. You know how much legal and law work that person's been doing? How much plotting he's been doing to collect that money, and he never collected? You know how mad he is right now? Now he doesn't get paid. So, of course he's going to do that. But again, this is part of business. Just put your seatbelt on and watch how it plays out. But I've never filed before. Nothing. The reason why they think it's fraudulent, this is why I have to tell you this. You see how he's saying it's fraudulent? He'll go into the court and say I'm rich because he's trying to collect money. I've been telling y'all I was broke, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why. So I don't know what would happen if let's say everything in the judgment doesn't go, nothing's still in my name. There's still nothing to collect. Okay, let me ask you this: do you know how many times Donald Trump filed?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah. So then why?
But he's known as a terrible businessman. But no, he's not.
He's the president.
Yeah, but sure, but he still was known as a terrible businessman. Actually, a con man.
Do you know how confidently dumb you sound? You're saying it's bad that he went bankrupt 6 times. He's a billionaire and he's the president,
but
and you still not
a terrible businessman and con artist.
Are you known as a good businessman?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you make a lot of money?
No.
So you've been doing this every day your whole life and you're not making no money?
Nope.
And you
like you, Dan.
No, you're not like me.
What you mean? You say you don't have.
Do you have a family office?
I
bet my house is bigger than yours. I bet all my houses are bigger than you. I bet I have a better.
How old are you,
stop.
man?
Now it's how old are you?
This is embarrassing.
You're embarrassed. Yeah, because
Come on, Dan.
I got you. I bet I'd like to see your view. Can you show me your view right now? Do you live in front of water?
View of my house?
Yeah. A view of what you see when you relax, when you're not here every day. See, when you're in it, let me just finish. Let me just see your view. When you just now said, let's just go back to how ridiculous you are. The president filed for bankruptcy 8 times, still a billionaire. He's saying he's a bad businessman. You're just not that smart.
Okay.
And you have to acknowledge that. And you know why? You're not seeing the world. You know what happens when you have to go someplace? You're laughing. You know what happens when you have to go someplace every day at 4 a.m? You can't go nowhere. You got to be here every day. You've been 15 years. You've missed the whole world. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're saying it confidently. And you're in an algorithm where people actually believe you out of response. And why you think they keep you here? They want y'all to make us dumb.
Dame looks at it more like a business restructure, where the bigger question is what assets, rights, and opportunities you still control afterward. And whether people agree with him or not, that difference in perspective is exactly why Charlamagne kept challenging him. Because once the numbers get messy, confidence alone isn't enough. You still have to show how the strategy actually works. And this is where the conversation starts hitting a nerve beyond Dame Dash himself. Hip-hop has always celebrated looking rich, but looking rich and actually controlling wealth are 2 completely different games. A flashy lifestyle can disappear fast when the checks slow down, while ownership can keep paying years after the spotlight moves on. That's why Dame keeps circling back to assets and control. His whole point is that the public often judges somebody by what they can see: cars, houses, jewelry, headlines, without knowing what is happening behind the scenes. But Charlamagne's pushback matters too, because ownership does not automatically erase debt or bad decisions. You can own valuable things and still have serious financial problems. That tension is what made this debate way deeper than regular celebrity drama. Another angle people are missing is how much reputation matters once business problems become public. Dame Dash built his name as somebody who understood ownership, independence, and how to create opportunities without waiting for permission. So when Charlamagne starts questioning his debt and financial decisions, it hits harder because Dame's whole image has always been tied to being a businessman who knows the game. That is probably why Dame reacted so strongly. To him, Charlamagne was not just asking about numbers, he was challenging the way Dame has presented himself for years. But from Charlamagne's side, that reputation is exactly why the questions had to be asked. If somebody is giving financial advice publicly, people are naturally going to look at their own business history and ask whether the results match the message. And that is where this whole exchange gets messy. You can have real knowledge, make smart moves, and still take losses along the way. Business is not a clean highlight reel. Deals fail, partnerships fall apart, lawsuits happen, and sometimes even experienced people make decisions that come back to bite them. The real debate is whether those setbacks prove the strategy was wrong or whether they are simply part of playing a much bigger game. What really changed the energy, though, was the way both men were talking to each other.
But if you worked here, you would.
I would never work here. I would only.
$20 million in debt.
What you talking about? I'm not. I'm not in debt. Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. I'm not in debt at all now. What are you talking about?
Oh, you paid it all off?
Yeah. When you have this bankruptcy 7 is like getting hit by the cartel with 100 bricks, and they die, and you don't owe no more. I want you to ask someone that you. This is what you should do if you want to do something smart. Get a specialist, a lawyer in bankruptcy, and you ask them these questions. Get a professional up here, and then they'll tell you. Why ask me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when he tells you you're dumb, you'll believe him. Anyway, the difference between you and I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams. My OG is sitting right here. You see him? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you why he's my OG. Because he killed anybody or any of those things. He just taught me how to be a better man.
Wendy, not my OG.
Can you
That's
stop?
Funny, though.
Can you stop?
Wendy Williams is your OG.
Wasn't she your boss?
Yeah, at one point.
So she was your OG. She put you on, and you should give her grace, and you should also give her props out of respect.
Oh, I do.
Because we have different trauma, like we're different. Like I'm not the kind of guy that would I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran.
Yeah.
I'd rather get my ass whipped. Let me ask you a question, Dan. You ever ran from a fight? What would happen if y'all heard that I ran from a fight? That's a masculine way of doing things. Now, you don't see it that way. You like to play games. Like, I'm not quite, because when you say kids, I was like, and it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why.
But
Let me tell you why. This is hilarious.
I love
you're
what
gay.
you're doing. This is hilarious.
So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip, which is is very feminine, and you are acting like there's some degree of you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity, because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need to be worried about girl stuff. Period.
What's girl stuff?
Talking about people that aren't in the room, that don't have anything to do with them, saying things confidently in front of millions of people and not saying anything. You know how many times I've seen people punk you? I would never let anybody talk to me a certain way. I'd rather get my ass whipped. That's where we're different. We got different trauma. So you can't really look through my eyes, because you do things different.
You that much?
No, do I look bothered?
Yeah.
I'm bothered.
Actually, you do.
What I'm bothered about is you're speaking in front of people confidently, and you don't have the experience or the knowledge. And also, I'm afraid that white people think that we act like you. You're not dumb, but
Once the conversation moved past the numbers, it became a battle over credibility. Dame felt like Charlamagne was speaking on business from the outside, while Charlamagne kept pushing like he wanted Dame to explain every move in plain English. That difference in communication is important, because a lot of people watching probably understood pieces of both sides. Dame was speaking from the mindset of ownership, leverage, and long-term control, but Charlamagne kept bringing it back to something much simpler. If the strategy is working, why does the public keep hearing about financial trouble? And that is where ego started mixing with the actual business debate. Instead of just comparing ideas, both men started defending their intelligence, experience, and reputation. That made the interview way more entertaining, but it also made the real lesson harder to separate from the personal shots. Because once respect becomes part of the argument, people stop listening just to learn. They start watching to see who is going to crack first. Another thing that makes this Dame Dash story hit different is the gap between being rich on paper and actually having cash available when problems show up. Somebody can own pieces of companies, copyrights, property, or intellectual property, and still be dealing with serious pressure if those assets are not easy to turn into cash. That is where regular people can get confused because they hear assets and automatically think somebody has millions ready to spend tomorrow. Dame's argument seems to come from the idea that ownership is the real scoreboard. If you control something valuable, that asset could keep growing, producing income, or become useful in another deal later. But Charlamagne kept looking at the other side of that equation. Bills still have deadlines, lawsuits still have consequences, and creditors are not always interested in hearing about what something might be worth 5 years from now. That is what makes this bigger than just Dame versus Charlamagne. It is really a debate about liquidity versus ownership, short-term pressure versus long-term value, and how much risk somebody should take while trying to build something bigger. You can have a strong portfolio and still get caught in a tight situation if the timing goes left. And that is probably why this interview had people arguing so hard afterward.
You know what's bugging me out?
Before, what do you mean act like him? I just want you to
Yeah, I want to know.
I'm going to say, so the way you keep interrupting me, the way you keep saying things that aren't true but don't know.
Like what? What did I say that's not true?
Let me say what I'm saying. I was still talking. Okay? So, because when y'all do that, I forget what I'm going to say because I be like, da-da-da.
You're not saying shit,
No,
Dame.
you don't think, of course you don't think that. I think you're gay.
That's fine.
I do. I'm not going to lie. After the Puff stuff, cause let me say this. This is my assessment. I've never heard you say one thing bad about Jay-Z, not one.
He's not in the room. You shouldn't talk about him.
Don't tell me what to do.
You said you shouldn't talk about men
Now
when they're not in the room.
you're interrupting me.
Now you're doing the girl stuff.
I know him. I'm giving you an example, right?
You used to know him.
Can I talk? You're upset. Can I talk? Can I talk? I've never seen you say one word, because you talk bad about a lot of people, but you never said one time. And you walk around with his face on your chest. Is that a airplane shirt right now?
Paper planes, yeah. I wore CEO stuff.
Can I finish? No, I never seen it. Let me finish.
What you mean?
Let me see.
You gave us
Can I
CEO
talk?
stuff.
Can I land the plane? Let me land the plane.
I can't wait.
Let me land the
I wear
plane.
CEO
So
stuff.
I'm thinking to myself, either you got a crush on this man or he's paying you. One or the other. Did you buy that shirt?
Yes.
You went and bought that? They didn't give it to you as much as you say
You're
nice
not supposed
things?
to support black business?
I doubt you bought that shirt.
What you mean?
Anyway,
and I buy CEO
so I
shirts
think
too.
you're gay. I'm sorry.
And I think
so,
you're broke.
Okay. Okay. I think that.
I think he's kind of gay too.
I think
But
that.
I do have a question.
I think
though.
that. And no disrespect to gay, I just think
I think you're broke.
Like I saw.
and that bothers you so much to get called broke by people.
I got you.
I do have a question.
I'm sure it does.
Right.
Raise your hand if you think Dame's broken. Seriously. See, this is me and him.
But this is the question though.
Can I make my other announcement?
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
I have a book
I was
deal.
talking though. You just cut me
I
off.
was talking. You just. I have a book.
stopped.
I want to make another
All right, go ahead,
announcement.
make an announcement.
I have a book deal with Simon Schuster.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I've already, the title of the book, I secured the rights for TV and all that. You know what the name of the book is?
What's the name of it?
Power. And I'm going to be putting a TV show on my own television network, Revolt. That's Power with no debt. And you're calling me broke because I have no debt. And you're telling me someone that gets $180 million loan is rich. You guys are dumb.
A billionaire is a
Dumb.
billionaire. It doesn't matter.
No, how do you know he's a billionaire? How? Not him. Anybody. How could you listen?
You said
wait. Time out. Stop for a second.
For $180 million.
That you call a billionaire. I said
You said a billionaire.
billionaires don't get loans. They have credit lines. I said.
That's what you said.
Listen. I said the people that you think are billionaires. That's what I said.
So why you don't get a credit line?
How do you know my family office doesn't?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm asking a question. That was a question.
I'm telling you right now. I run my family office. I signed a non-disclosure. I ain't allowed to talk about their business. But I can tell you this: when we do pay, because we just paid, and I hope I don't get in trouble, but we just paid like $600,000 in taxes. But they don't write about that. My family office had a lawsuit. Look at it. The reason why you thought that my shit was getting taken, because that was the Dash Group. That was my family office. We paid that. We pay those. I just don't.
That was the asset.
No, asset. Those. Okay, let me explain the assets. In business, and I'm sure none of y'all know this. When you get a copyright, I get copyrights. So that no one can sue me for using the name, but doesn't mean there's any value. So through the years, I've gotten copyrights, and then the business goes. So I haven't put a company in my name since 2017. Only thing that was in my name was Reasonable Doubt, and I couldn't file because then I would have had to take Reasonable Doubt to auction, because when you file, they liquidate all your assets. That was the last thing that was in my name. So once that went, and what was happening was they were reporting on my tax returns that I was getting $100,000 a year from Reasonable Doubt, but I was never getting sent it, and they were asking me to pay taxes on it. That should have been going to the child support. But so that money that was supposed to be going, so when I'm behind on child support, it always gets paid, or I went to jail. The last time I was behind, it was $1 million. I paid it. That sounds broke to you?
Dame was talking like an entrepreneur who sees the chessboard 10 moves ahead, while Charlamagne kept asking the kind of questions an everyday person would ask when the numbers start looking shaky. Neither approach sounds crazy by itself, but when those two mindsets collide, that is when the sparks really start flying. There's also a bigger question sitting underneath all of this. How much should somebody's past success protect them from criticism today? Dame Dash helped build major businesses, worked around huge artists, and became part of some of hip-hop's biggest money conversations. That history matters. But Charlamagne's point was basically that past wins do not automatically answer current questions. That is where the debate gets uncomfortable, because people in hip-hop sometimes treat business legends like they cannot be challenged. If somebody helped create something massive 20 years ago, fans might assume every move they make today must be genius too. But business changes fast. Markets change, partnerships change, laws change, and what worked during one era might not work the same way now. At the same time, it is easy for people watching from the outside to judge decisions they have never had to make themselves. Running companies, managing rights, handling lawsuits, dealing with partners, and trying to protect assets can get complicated real quick. A headline might make something look simple when the actual situation has 10 different layers behind it. That is why this Dame Dash and Charlamagne clash keeps getting people talking. It was not just two personalities going at each other. It became a real argument about legacy, accountability, experience, and whether somebody's track record should earn them the benefit of the doubt, or even more questions when things start looking complicated. At the end of the day, this whole Dame Dash and Charlamagne exchange showed why money conversations in hip-hop can get personal so fast. Dame clearly believes that setbacks, debt, and bankruptcy do not erase somebody's business knowledge, especially when ownership and long-term assets are still part of the picture. Charlamagne looked at it differently, pressing him on whether the strategy actually matches the results people can see. And maybe that is the biggest takeaway here. You can respect Dame's history and still question some of his moves. You can agree with Charlamagne's questions without pretending business is as simple as looking at somebody's debt and calling them broke. There is a lot of gray area between winning and losing when you are building companies, owning intellectual property, taking risks, and dealing with financial pressure behind the scenes. But now, Dripzine wants to hear from you. Did Dame Dash actually break down a smarter way of looking at money and debt, or did Charlamagne expose holes in his argument? And who walked away from this conversation sounding more convincing? Drop your take down below, hit that like button, subscribe to Dripzine, and turn on those notifications so you do not miss the next story. We'll catch you in the next one.
I mean, I'm just sick of fighting people that I try to help, because I know how much I wish I had somebody to tell me who to watch out for and how to do things the right way, so we ain't wasting time running on a treadmill and figuring out how to empower each other instead of going against each other. If we do it together, we the plug. And I've been saying this shit for years, and everybody says I'm crazy, and every time I help somebody, they rob me. Every time I get somebody to their dream, they literally lock the doors and try to make me look crazy. You see how it go? I don't get it. The good guy gets punished, period. That's the sacrificial lamb no matter what. If you're going to tell the truth, you better be ready to fight, period. But if you soft, you're going to look the other way. And you got to live with yourself. I'm not judging you. I'm just not built that way. And my existence and everything I've done while I've been on this planet as an adult reflects that. As I learn, I teach. And I never hide the plug. I give it away. I'm an OG. I give it away for free. To check that. And then it'd be people that have no plan, that aren't doing anything, are the most distracting.
Right.
They're the ones that speak the loudest, because if you're doing something, you don't have time to be worried about somebody else.
Right.
You don't have time for jealousy if you're doing something. You're too tired doing what you're doing.
Right.
So if you're sitting around thinking, that means you should be doing some action.
Right.
So that's your fault. So then the overcompensation comes for blaming somebody else for the reasons why you don't want to move.
That's ill.
You understand what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Like, it's just like, that's why I say I don't have time to be worried, because I'm always, if I feel something's giving me anxiety.
Perception is paid for, period. Anybody could be famous. You could pay for fame, literally. It's nothing. It's having enough money to get the right publicist, the right press, the right people. It's the easiest thing in the world. You know what I mean? So if you're corporate, of course, your fame will be paid for. It will be protected, because the people that are invested in you, they got to make money off you. So they're going to make sure that you're seen, because a lot of people buy. Like, that's also another business model. Some people sell their celebrity. So the more famous you are, the more people that see you, the more shit you sell. It doesn't necessarily have to be quality. It's because you're the celebrity. But then there's a model where it's about the quality of your work. That's the model I prefer. I don't like to sell my celebrity. That's cheating to me. You know, I like to sell my quality of work. Often I like to do things without people even knowing it's me. Because, again, the balling isn't people buying into how famous I am. It's people buying into the quality and the taste of what I'm doing. It's not about how big or how much money. It's about how cool you are. It's about being tasteful. You can't buy taste.
But you can't think anything's going to be given to you other than opportunity. And the only way to show appreciation for opportunity is to react. Not to say thank you, but to actually do something. Every single day for everybody, there's a lesson, there's a test. And if you don't pass the test, you do not move forward. You stay in the same place. And then that test becomes a little harder. If you don't pass it again, you actually go backwards. And then instead of the test being in front of you, where you can look at the test, it's in back of you. And it's smacking the shit out of you in the back of your head. And it hurts, and it's embarrassing. So I always advise people to look out for those tests.
This whole building is about to go up in flames! Oh, please, let us save you!
Yo, I'm the one that decides who gets saved and who doesn't. This is my building. I put up the bread for it. I designed it. I baked the bricks. I started the fire.
Wait, you started the fire? Oh, why, Dame Dash? Why?
I was doing my laundry like a boss. In the bleach container, had a sign on it that said keep away from flames. Don't nobody tell me what to keep away from.
You're from Harlem. Yeah, we know. We get it, all right?
He's not breathing.
Oh, well, then give him mouth to mouth! Quick!
You stupid. I can't breathe life into another man's mouth. I'm from Harlem.
Word.
I fuck with you. Pause.